seasoned politicians and political newbies in equal measure. The new leader of the majority, Samuel Pogisho, his deputy Fatuma Dulo, majority whip Irungu Kangata, and his deputy Fahia Haji will now steer the ship. And so who are these four? Just before we get to know about the four people who were given the new positions yesterday, let's talk to our senior parliamentary reporter, Patrick Amimo, on what we need to expect regarding the changes at the Senate yesterday. Amimo, what do we expect? And of course, owing to the removal of Majority Leader Kipchumba Murkomen, the Speaker of the Senate, Ken Lusaka, is also expected to formally announce the changes initiated by the ruling party. Amimo, talk to us about this.
The Senate, as it resumes its weekly sittings, its weekly Tuesday sittings, will still be marred in controversy. Now, this time round, touching both the ODM and the Jubilee side. The Jubilee side troubles now began following yesterday's parliamentary, joint Jubilee parliamentary group meeting at State House, Nairobi, chaired by the party leader Uhuru Kenyatta, where where those who were present were said about 20 senators attended that particular meeting, and they endorsed the changes where now we saw Poisio, the West Pokot senator, be replaced his immediate neighbor in the county from Elegeo Marakwet, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, as the majority leader. And we saw in Nakuru, Susan Kihika being replaced by Irungu Kangata, who was her deputy. Maybe Kangata, when we look at how Kangata rose to this particular position, where maybe is preferred by Uhuru, is because even when the Senate convened in 2018, when they are electing people to fill various positions as chairpersons, Kangata was very instrumental, and it appears he had the president's brief to ensure that no person from the NASA side takes charge of any particular committee. And in fact, I remember during the County Public Accounts and Investments Committee, the Jubilee side was very eager to take up that position and said maybe ODM or NASA side might not get that particular position. But then later on, I think sense prevailed and they had to leave that particular position for Moses Kajwang, who now from the NASA side. But looking at it, we've seen Kipchumba Murkomen and Susan Kihika raise complaints about how that particular State House meeting was constituted. Some are asking about the images from those senators who attended that particular meeting. They say they're claiming that those State House did indicate through the spokesman that 20 senators attended that particular meeting. On Kipchumba Murkomen's side, they said they had support of 24 senators who skipped that particular meeting. And on the Jubilee side alone, they have at least 35 senators. So it is a matter that once State House or President Uhuru Kenyatta, the party leader for Jubilee, takes those particular minutes to the clerk of the Senate, then they'll scrutinize those particular minutes and see whether that particular meeting was validly constituted and whether it complied with the Senate's standing orders. Then if so, then we'll see the Speaker give directions on that particular matter. So that particular issue is there. We'll also see that with that particular matter also, there is another pending matter, apart from those leadership wrangles, which expect the Speaker, Ken Lusaka, to give us directions on. The other matter will be that Senate COVID Committee will be presenting its fifth report before members to see how it has been progressing on, because it's been meeting various institutions and stakeholders with matters to do with the COVID-19 pandemic situation in the country. And lastly, probably just matters on the Senate, we see the Narok Senator Olekina will still be chairing that controversial that committee on County Public Accounts Investments Committee. He'll be chairing tomorrow that particular meeting and to set the agenda for the week on how they intend to meet senators across the country as he keeps on his particular position, because he went to the court and the court issued an injunction and said that the elections which were to be held on Thursday should not be held to replace Olekina. So as we speak, Olekina is still the substantive chair of that CPI committee, and he'll be holding its sitting tomorrow as they plan the way ahead. Brenda?
Thank you so much. Our senior parliamentary reporter, Patrick Amimo, talking to us about what we need to expect to transpire on the floor of the House when Speaker Kenneth Lusaka will be looking at the names that have been forwarded for ratification. Actually, he needs to say whether, tell the House on when it comes to the leadership changes that were brought about yesterday by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, let's look at the profile of the people who were given new positions. And the Jubilee Party's new leadership in the Senate features seasoned politicians and political newbies in equal measure. The new leader of the majority, Samuel Pogisho, his deputy Fatuma Dulo, majority whip Irungu Kangata, and his deputy Fahia Haji will now have to steer a ship that has set a new trajectory. So who are these for? KTN's George Maringa reports.
Soft-spoken 61-year-old Samuel Losuron Pogisio is not new to Kenyan politics. He was first elected to parliament in 1998 as a member of parliament for Kachaliba and held the position for 4 5-year terms until 2013 under KANU ticket.
Deputy Organizing Secretary Wapili.
Between the year 2000 and 2002, he was Assistant Minister for Higher Education, Science and Technology before he was appointed Minister for Information and Communication between the year 2008 and 2013.
Sisi hapa West Pokot tunataka ambia watu, this is KANU. This is KANU County. County ya West Pokot ni KANU. Hao wananchi ni KANU. Hata ukileta helikopta ngapi bado ni KANU. Tunataka tuheshimiane kwa siasa pia.
Samuel Pogisio bounced back into politics after the 2017 general election when he won the West Pokot senatorial seat.
Vile tumeamua sisi ni KANU inasimamia amani, upendo na umoja.
Pogisio has always placed a particular importance on education, having attained his EACE and EAACE at Moroto High and Namubali High in Uganda, respectively. He later graduated with a bachelor's degree from Makerere University in 1982. The former Daystar University lecturer also holds 2 Master of Arts degrees from Wheaton College and Lincoln University, USA. During his tenure as Minister for Information and Communication in President Mwai Kibaki's government, Pogisio left his mark for laying the foundation for digital migration of broadcasting in the country. He will now hold the position of Leader of Majority in the Senate and will be deputized by Isiolo Senator Fatuma Dulo, who served as a nominated senator between 2013 and 2017. The majority whip position in the Senate shall be held by Murang'a Senator Irungu Kang'ata, who served as a councillor in his backyard in 2002. In 2013, he vied for Kiharu parliamentary seat under the TNA ticket. In the 2017 general election, Irungu vied for the Murang'a senator seat under the Jubilee party. He will be deputized by Jubilee's nominated senator Fahia Haji Ali. Under the leadership of the former university don and minister, the 4 shall steer the Jubilee party ship in accordance with the party's constitution and standing orders. George Maringa, KTN News.
Now away from